Hello, good morning, ladies, and good afternoon, Andrea. Um, I am Nicole Donnelly, and this is Astro Talks. We are going to learn about Mercury and how it affects your sleep. And I just looked at my chart. I have Mercury in Sagittarius, and Andrea has Mercury in Sagittarius. We work together on AstroJoy, so we cannot wait to hear what Lucia has to say about sleep and how that affects us, because I have no idea. Um, and we've got Lucia Robelo here again today to talk to us about Mercury and sleep.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me. And so it's exciting. Mercury and sleep, right? So, what is Mercury? Let's begin there. So, Mercury is the planet of intellect, the planet of communication. It's our thought process, how we communicate with others, and what our internal dialogue is. So, it's all about verbal speech and written language. And so, how does it manifest in Sagittarius? Well, so it manifests as being blunt, like straight to the point. Sometimes, can put your foot in your mouth, but hey, that's why, you guys make us laugh, because that's, we all need a little bit of joy in that, like, whoop, did you really say that? But and it can be very philosophical as well. So, it's a fun placement, for Sagittarius for Mercury to be in Sagittarius. Now, Mercury rules two signs, and that is Gemini and Virgo. So Mercury loves to be in Gemini and in Virgo because it's the planetary ruler of those signs. So, you know, in Gemini, which is an earth sign, and all earth signs such as Libra and Aquarius, they have speedy intellect. So Mercury thrives in those signs because they're fast. They think and they're communicating. And in Virgo, natural ruler of it, it's more about structure thinking, very analytical thinking, but can fall into some judgment. So that is just, to be careful with Mercury and Virgo, as to with any Mercury in Virgos in earth signs, like the two other earth signs that are Capricorn and Taurus. With Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn is business minded. It's a good placement to have it there too, because it likes to get stuff done. And in Taurus, it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit stubborn. It's a little bit inflexible. Taurus is a fixed sign, so it doesn't like change. So Mercury in Taurus is a little bit more making it their own way. Waiting, cannot rush them, cannot rush their thought process. You need to let them think and let them, go at their own pace. Now, with Mercury and water signs that we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Well, Mercury, it's more about communications. So when you have it in a water sign that it's about feelings and emotions, it can get a little tricky because Mercury doesn't know what to do there. So, in Scorpio, it's a deep thought, intense, and sometimes the thoughts can be a little bit scary and worry prone. So gotta be mindful of the what are you telling yourself. And the same with Cancer. In Cancer, it's about emotions. So they're wearing the emotions on their sleeve. And anything that a person says is interpreted at an emotional level when it's just intellectual. Whereas the Gemini will just process the thoughts, or a fire sign will just, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo will process it just on an intellectual level. Water signs take it on a personal level. So it's just being mindful of that. What are the story that you're telling yourself?
So,
And
I just have a question on that. My husband has his in Cancer. He also has his sun and moon in Cancer.
triple Cancer, wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, so when I'm being super blunt, then he's got it super sensitive, and that can create some communication issues there, is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
Yes, and it can create some tension because it's what Cancer is like. What are you hurting my feelings? There's more, homeboys. Whereas as a fire sign, you are more like quick and let's go out and let's do this and maybe he could be more on the introvert side and you're more extrovert, and it's more about the feeling. Like they immediately go to a place and may not like it just by they sense the energy of the place, especially him being triple water. And he even may not know this, he may not even be conscious of his intuition, or maybe he may not even be conscious of how the energy of a place affects you, because men can be a little bit more stubborn and how their thoughts and feelings affect them. But it's more about like the surrounding, it's affecting them. So so your words, what you're saying to him, like it's like, no, you're hurting my feelings. When another person, it will rebound, whatever you're saying, just whoop, it will go
Yeah.
away.
Interesting. Yeah, my daughter's got hers in Gemini, and her sun and moon are in Gemini as well.
Nice, triple air. How is that for you? Because she must be very talkative.
Yeah, she's super witty too, and funny, like hilarious, and she's very fast. Um, she's a really quick thinker that way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we really get along. Like did a car camping road trip for a week in the summer, and we work really well together. And like there's no conflicts, nothing, we just have a good time.
Yes, that's because fire signs and air signs, they complement each other. It's a nice blend. Whereas with water sign and earth sign, water sign is you're too much, you're talking too much, it's too much information, and needs to retreat. Whereas, and the air sign is looking at the water sign like, what's wrong with you? Can you just have some fun? Can you let go? Can you loosen up? And so yes, it's a fun, like Gemini Sagittarius make a great connection. And yeah, because fire signs, are impulsive, or let's do it. Okay, let's go do it. Like whereas the water sign will say to the fire sign, no, let's think about it for a moment. Like maybe we shouldn't be doing that. So it's nice to have that. Okay, let's have fun, because the fire signs are like, yeah, like can get in trouble. If you don't like, you don't tone it down sometimes a little bit. Can get in a little bit of trouble. But if it's all for fun and game without harming anyone, yeah, like, yeah, go for it. But yes, because fire signs are definitely here to crack us up, and they're definitely here to say, hey, get off your chair. Come on, let's go. We're moving. And it's good. We need that.
Yeah.
Definitely. I have a question. So, why do you think, I know Mercury rules your communication. So, why is it that it's so directly affects sleep so much? Is that because we sort of evaluate communication in our heads, or what is that connection?
Yes, it's because it's our internal dialogue. So Mercury also applies to what we're telling ourselves.
So not just communication external, but the communication internal.
Yeah, so it's what we're telling ourselves. So sleep comes into play, knowing your Mercury to know how it will help you, because with, if you have Mercury in a fire sign, you're just constantly going, with, I want to do this, with things that you want to do now. And so how do you shut it off?
Down. Yeah.
So that's where it helps you. And with if you have Mercury in a in an earth sign, it's more about going over your to-do list, like repeatedly going and wanting to like, or maybe you're thinking of a problem that you want to solve, and you're late at night, I'm like, I want to solve this problem, and you're like, how do I do it? Whereas the fire sign just wants to go get it done. The earth sign is just thinking about problem solving, and the water, Mercury in a water sign, it's about like, could be, worrying prone, like, oh my God, just worrying about what happened earlier in the day, or what happened a week ago, or a month ago, or 5 years ago, and they're like, oh my God, how do I shut it down? So that's where sleep comes into play to help them. And with Mercury and earth signs, they're just constantly, wanting to know information, curiosity. They're just like up at night, like looking information, or Libras in Mercury in Libras, like looking at Pinterest, designing ideas. So it's that kind of thing, in Aquarius. How do I solve the future? Like, how can I rebel against society? And Gemini is just like, oh, astrology. What can I learn more about astrology? So
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny you say that, since we're Nicole and I are both Sagittarius Mercuries. I constantly will be in my bed, like going to sleep, and then think about something I could just do really quick. And I will leave my bedroom and come into my office and log in the dark, do whatever it is, go back to bed, and then I can go to sleep. So yeah, that totally makes sense. I mean, I just did that last night, so makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
that's funny. Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that insight. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to have you back and hear more. What are we talking about next time?
We're talking about moon signs. Exciting.
ooh, I love this subject.
Yeah.
It's about your feelings, how you process your feelings and emotions, and it's all about how like your emotional body is. So it's a good one.
That's really, I
Excellent.
find it really fascinating too, because as someone that I'm a Capricorn, my sun sign, but I don't feel fully Capricorn. I don't always resonate with everything Capricorn. So until I started finding out all these, like my rising and my moon being in Pisces and my rising in Taurus, like I didn't understand why I didn't feel like that. So the deeper we go into these areas, the more people will understand themselves. So it'll be really fascinating to see.
Yeah, we're part of a big puzzle, and your sun sign is just one piece of the puzzle. Your moon sign is another one, your rising, your Mercury. So this whole puzzle, makes us whole and complete. So once you start understanding that, then it's like, oh my God, now it makes sense.
Yeah, makes much more sense when you get some more of the pieces. So I'm glad we can
Yeah.
offer that to people. So
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. Thanks, Lucia. Thank you, Andrea. And we'll see you back here next week.
sounds great.
Bye.